From the beginning of the War of 1812, British ships controlled the waters of Chesapeake Bay. But because Britain was also fighting France, most of its troops were in Europe, so it couldn't mount an invasion. That changed in 1814, when Britain and her allies defeated Napoleon and imprisoned him on Elba, allowing Britain to shift both ships and men to the U.S. war. British troops in Canada planned to invade New York, but needed a diversion to the south. That diversion was to be an attack on the American capital, Washington, D.C. A massive British fleet assembled at Tangier Island in the Chesapeake. The bay was defended by the Chesapeake Flotilla, a collection of American barges and gunboats under command of Captain Joshua Barney. Though vastly outnumbered, these men were determined to mount a resistance. In August 1814, the British advanced up the Patuxent River, forcing Barney to retreat ahead of them. At Upper Marlboro, Maryland, British forces gathered and began their march on Washington by way of Bladensburg. Barney's sailors, with artillery from the Washington Arsenal, now Fort Leslie McNair, took up positions at Bladensburg along with units of the Army and militia. Though units around them fled in the face of the withering British assault, Barney's men fought bravely, and his guns took a heavy toll on the advancing British troops. The British eventually captured Barney, but immediately paroled him, a huge sign of respect for his valiant stand. Having overcome all resistance, the British next advanced on Washington, forcing President Madison and other government officials to leave the capital. The British planned to burn government buildings, but promised to spare private property as long as its owners were peaceful. Some of Barney's men occupied the Sewell Belmont House in the city, firing on the advancing British troops, killing the British commanding general's horse. The British torched the house as well as the White House, Capitol, and other government buildings. Dolly Madison, following instructions from the president, gathered up as many valuables as she could. Paul Jennings, President Madison's enslaved manservant, along with others, saved the Gilbert Stuart painting of George Washington, today considered a national treasure. Word of Barney's brave stand at Bladensburg quickly traveled to Baltimore, inspiring the defenders of that key port to hold out against the September British assault. As many as 900 U.S. naval officers and sailors, including over 200 from Barney's flotilla, deployed to defend the city, both aboard ship and on land. Citizens of Baltimore were also instrumental in setting up the city's defenses. Many of the city's defenders took up positions in Fort McHenry, where they traded artillery fire with the British warships, lighting up the night sky with the rocket's red glare. The Americans' determined resistance, inspired by Barney's men, proved to be inspiration for a civilian, Attorney Francis Scott Key, who witnessed the bombardment aboard the deck of a British ship, where he had gone to conduct legal business. Moved by the sight of his country's flag at dawn fluttering over the fort, Key jotted down the words to a song that, in 1931, would become America's national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. America's Navy, keeping the sea free for more than 200 years.